Hey guys! So once again we are starting off with a topic I love and a lot of people will moan and groan about. History fair. So number one, what is history fair? Well, it is actually known as an international competition. Now it is international. So people from all across the globe are competing to try and prove that they have the best topic. And it also improves students' research methods. One of the big things colleges now look for are activities you do, and one of the big ones actually is history fair. So how will this impact me in the long run? Well, colleges and universities tend to look to see if students have had experience in history fair, and if they've won, if they've placed, what their project was, and that's all because students who do history fair have a better understanding of how research is done, which makes them a better candidate for the college or university. There are also scholarships given away for students who do history fair. Now, what are some of the rules? What are some of the most important rules? Well, number one, Wikipedia. Do not use. That is a banned source. It is not an actual source. You can use what they cite, but Wikipedia itself is not a source. I cannot stress that enough. Also, make sure to link your topic to whatever theme it is. Whatever theme they're doing for this year, it is taking a stand. Make sure your topic is at least 25 years old. What I'm saying is, if it started 25 years ago and continues on today, that's perfectly fine. That is great. That means you can do your topic. Also, make sure you have enough sources, so don't choose like ancient Roman architecture, taking a stand, because you're not going to have that many primary resources. I will get to what a primary resource is though. What do I have to do the project? Well, first, you got to choose what's your topic. And the topic has to be something you're interested in. If you're having trouble finding a topic, either leave me a comment or go on Twitter and tweet at me and tell me some things you like. Maybe I can come up with a unique topic. Then you have to choose your category. Now, there's group or individual exhibit, which is a backboard. Group or individual website, which is on Weebly. Group or individual documentary, group or individual live performance, or a paper. Now, a paper is only individual, and a group is up to 5 people. And everybody in the group must have a different process paper. Next time I make a video on this, I will show you one of my process papers. And maybe I can figure out a way to upload it to the internet somehow. Also, your process paper, which is in your packet, so you have your title and theme page on the front. So it's like taking a stand, Native American activist by such and such and such and such in the junior division. Then the next page is going to be your process paper, which has to be 500 words. Now, if you're in a group, everyone in the group must have a different process paper. It must not be copied and pasted. Things must change. And you must have an annotated bibliography. What does that mean? It means you explain what you use from each source that you cite. And you have to have it split between primary and secondary sources. Now, I will get to the primary and secondary. Just give me a minute, guys. So what happens if I win? If you win in your classroom, then you go to schools. If you win at your schools, then you go on to county. If you go on to county, you can win scholarships there, and you can go on to state. Once you go on to state, it's even more competitive, and once you hit state, you're able to compete for more scholarships, and if you win at state, then you go to internationals, which I believe is still up in Washington. And it's really a lot of fun, but you're not required to go past your classroom. Now, well, how do I start for things? Well, first, come up with your topic. It must interest you. Now, after you figure out what your topic is, start to Google it. See if you can find articles about it or even books. You can also use Amazon or Borders. And after you start finding the sources, start going on Google Scholar so you know they're actual verified sources. Now, what's the difference between a primary and a secondary source? Well, the main difference is a primary source is by somebody who was there. A secondary source is a retelling of the event by somebody who wasn't there. So the first book I have here is And the Band Plays On, the Political Policy People and the AIDS Epidemic. Now, this is a primary source because this guy was a journalist during this time period, And he lived through the AIDS crisis, so he saw exactly what was going on. But this book, The House of Dixie, the Civil War and the Social Revolution that transformed the South, is going to be secondary because Bruce Levine, who is the author of this book, didn't live during the Civil War times. Same thing goes for Devil in the White City. Murder, Magic, and the Madness at the fair that changed America by Eric Larson. Larson does have pictures in here and he does have quotes. That's the trick. If you have pictures and quotes, those become primary. So you can pull from this book and make it primary by using the quotes. Another 2 books. This one can go either way as well. This is Polio, an American story, the crusade that mobilized the nation against the 20th century most feared disease. You have quotes from FDR. You have some pictures, which you can turn into primary as well. Same thing for Asleep, the forgotten epidemic that remains one of medicine's greatest mysteries. So all of these books can either go either way, but you just have to be careful. You also can find documentaries online. Now, this year's topic is taking a stand. People, events, and ideas. Now, most of the time, it is best to link it back to something 25 years or older. 20, you're pushing it. Now, it doesn't have to be all 3. It could just be 1. Now, here are some of my suggestions, and I've looked up sources for them. The first is Dr. Bennett Omalu. He's the guy who discovered the link between concussions in NFL players and them going crazy, but it links back even further because before Dr. Omalu published his paper on this, the NFL did have some sort of proof, so you can link it back to more than 25 years of the NFL trying to hide this underlying fact and just focus on Dr. Omalu, who really brought it to the surface. The second is Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker is the first African-American female millionaire, self-made millionaire as well. Then you have, I'm going to slaughter this guy's name, Shang Su Shiraki. He's actually the diplomat to Poland, and after Poland fell to the Nazis, he realized that millions of Jews were going to die, and he started signing passports, sending them over to Japan, saving their lives. And the last one I have is the Medical Committee for Human Rights. I will do a whole nother video where I talk about some really great topics. Well, guys, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section down below. If you need some help, just tweet me, leave a comment. My email may be attached to this as well. You can shoot me an email, just title it History Fair Help. So, have a wonderful night, guys. Bye.